I need to apologize first about something from last night's video. Elko Charles says, let's be clear that Joe Hendry instigated this in the first place, singing that song about firing Logan Paul on his debut. Okay, so Logan Paul last night came out and was like, I'm unfireable. It's bad for business to fire me. And I pretty much said that that was in poor taste. Everything Logan Paul said was in poor taste, and I stand by that. However, it is true, though, that it takes two to tango, and Joe Hendry was literally calling for someone to be fired after we just had 2 weeks of people losing their jobs for whatever reason. So, for me to make it seem like only Logan Paul was the problem, that was wrong of me. That was wrong of me. Love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. Joe Hendry was equally responsible in this segment. Now, I get it. Both guys are just doing their jobs. But that said, it was in poor taste. Am I blaming Logan Paul? Am I blaming Joe Hendry? No, it's creative's fault. Creative told them to do it, just like they had Corey Graves saying loyalty doesn't pay the bills, or Michael Cole saying trouble in paradise, Kofi Kingston's signature move, or having two separate contract signings on the episode after they just tried to renegotiate the contracts of the New Day and then release them. So yeah, poor taste, that segment, but not exclusively on Logan Paul for this one. And I appreciate you calling me out. Really, I do. This is not an echo chamber. I am not perfect. If I say something wrong or something that doesn't sit right with you, well, I'm allowed to do it to WWE. You're allowed to do it to me in a respectful manner. You were respectful, so thank you, because you were right and I was wrong. All right, so now let's do some hot takes. We got Miss Pricey 80. After Backlash, will we have to acknowledge Fatu? Or Backwood Billy says, I don't know. Will the OTC be OTD? Out the door. Yeah, before this weekend, it was a foregone conclusion that Jacob would lose to Roman. No way Roman loses the title so close after WrestleMania, but now that superstars are being asked to renegotiate their contracts, what if? What if Roman makes too much money for TKO? Now, I personally like, back up the money trucks and give Roman what he wants, because that guy, he just makes WWE feel important, but, well, TKO doesn't care. What if they have gone to Roman and said, we need you to renegotiate, and Roman's like, nah, not gonna do it. He doesn't need the money. In fact, he almost quit in 2020, and he's made even more money since then. And that tribal chief money, woo, buddy, and if they're like, don't want to pay him tribal chief money, Roman might just walk, and if he walks, maybe Jacob Fatu has a chance. I don't know. I don't see Roman taking a pay cut, though. And just FYI here, I just wanted to throw this out there. TKO CEOs, Ari Emanuel got a 271 pay increase, going from $18.1 million to $67.3 million, his salary, that is. Mark Shapiro went from $31.9 million to $42.6 million. That's a 34% pay increase. Nick Khan got a 303 pay increase from $6 million to $24.2 million. So yeah, if they ask Roman to take a pay cut, I'm pretty confident Jacob will be winning at Backlash. All right, let's do some more hot takes. After the belt giveaway at 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away this belt right here. All you got to do is comment below and subscribe to the channel. I've already given away 3 belts so far, although I have not mailed one out yet. Give me about 6 to 9 more days and I will get it all mailed out. You'll see proof of shipping. People, it's not a toy. It's a replica. All right, FYI, so I am going to put my money where my mouth is and start doing something with AEW. I don't know yet. This will still be a WWE channel, but I do need to figure out a way to help, to not just complain, but to help the situation. And the best thing I can think of right now is to support the competition, Tony Khan, who actually treats the wrestlers like human beings. Eric Shook says the Liv Roxanne feud is going to be great. Well, buckle in, my friend, because it might be a long wait. Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor, how long did it take for those two to actually start feuding? That thing was going on for like, what, a year and a half before they actually got their match? So, like, I really do want Liv and Roxanne to feud, but at the same time, if we're to look at history, this thing could still be like 2 WrestleManias away. The Wrestle Down says, I really wish WWE would tell us who the heel is between Roman and Jacob because this was the go-home show and I still have no idea. Well, Jacob is the heel when he's against Roman Reigns, but then when he goes back to SmackDown, he's the baby face because he's facing Solo Sikoa and everybody. Yeah, you know, and then Roman to me has never turned full babyface. The only thing that really makes Roman a babyface is he doesn't bully his cousins anymore. So it's like, you know, and he fought CM Punk alone at WrestleMania. So yeah, this is a weird dynamic. The fans don't know either. They will literally be like, OTC, OTC. And then once Roman is in the tongue and death grip, they're cheering Jacob Fatu. So I just don't think there is a babyface and a heel right now when it comes to the bloodline. I love AEW Wrestling says, I think it's sad to see Oba fighting jobbers in the tag division now on Raw. And yes, he's over, but how long before the fans give up on him? I think WWE has until SummerSlam. I think they have until SummerSlam. I don't think they'll give up, but then we might get into an LA Knight, situation where it's like Oba will always be over with the fans, but the fans will stop believing that the push is gonna happen. Because that's LA Knight, man. We love LA Knight. We love him, but like, he's not even on Raw anymore, and nobody even blinks, and that's because of how they have booked him. But you can tell that WWE has no creative idea for him because that's what they do when they don't know how to book someone, but they're trying to keep them relevant. Open challenge, and that's evident in the fact that the moment Sami Zayn lost the title, his U.S. Open Challenge, he was taken off TV. Ilya Dragunov lost his Open Challenge, he was taken off TV. Carmelo Hayes loses his Open Challenge, he was taken off TV. So now, Oba, Femi, oh man, please, give the dude a storyline. Major Mario says, a few second stare down was enough to remind me why Seth versus Roman for a world title match at Mania is the biggest main event that could happen. Seth and Roman last night, I really liked that interaction. Because, well, you know, it's almost unbelievable that they wouldn't cross paths backstage here and there because they're on the same show now. So yes, great stuff. That was like a really good teaser moment right there. Charles Yancey says, it's hard to have a hot take with the release of the New Day. I feel you, man. I feel you. It's tough. It's tough. We love wrestling so much. Wrestling is unlike anything in the world. And when you take our favorite people away who we've known for like 18 years, yeah, it's tough. I don't blame you for being a little down. TTJC says, not gonna lie, I was thoroughly entertained, especially with the Tozawa fake out. I thought the Tozawa fake out was really good. Because I could have saw them actually having Oba beat Tozawa this week, and then next week Otis. And so when Tozawa went up to him and was like, no thanks, and then it became Otis. That was a very little story right there for this match that was really chef's kiss. It was just a nice little touch right there. Skywalker 3 says, seems like a plug and play timeline. Same old scenes, just different order this week. Yeah, you know, open challenge, contract signing, blindside attack, pull apart brawl. Yeah. DS Wisemark says, I don't understand why the Cody Rhodes is easy to find, hard to beat. Why doesn't Oba go to challenge Cody? Why is he still fighting jobbers? That's a valid point. You could be like, well, Oba Femi's a Raw guy. Cody's a SmackDown guy. Yeah, well, Jacob Fatu is a SmackDown guy and Roman is a Raw guy, so that argument doesn't apply. I don't have an answer for you, DS. Justin Tyler says, hot take? Raw is getting much better, and with those call-ups, if done right, 2026 is going to be a big year for the Red brand. I really like that you enjoyed Raw last night. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are just like trashing it, and for the most part, if you listen to a lot of my hot takes, it seems like I'm trashing Raw more than I'm praising it. It was a decent Raw, honestly. There was just some things that were just like, but even if I hated Raw, never let somebody like rain on your parade. If you like something, then like it, enjoy it. Who cares what people have to say? It's just fun to talk about things, as long as we don't get personal. Like, Sometimes people will be like, are you a moron? How could you like that? Because they liked it. Who cares why? Discuss. Have a discussion. Don't just insult somebody. So I'm really glad you liked Raw last night. And Wilkes says, WWE music is awful. Sol Ruca got Def Rebelled. Austin Theory's song can't be played in the Street Profits only run out, so the theme gets cut short. Yeah, that's another thing. Now, Vince McMahon is the one who started the Def Rebel stuff, but yeah, WWE's music just sucks. It just sucks. I mean, every once in a while they get a banger, not gonna lie, but I miss the old days. I mean, you could literally be a mid-card jobber and still have banging music. Tiz Mickey says, remember the time that John Cena retired? Well, yeah, it doesn't seem like he does either. LOL. Yeah, we have John Cena appearing on 2 PLEs in a row. That's more than Cody right now. Cody's not on Backlash, but John Cena is. And John Cena was on both nights of WrestleMania. I guess in retirement, we can see him. Echo Hotel says, dude, I can't imagine what it's like trying to be a YouTuber off these past 2 years of WWE. Brutal. Yeah, brutal. Not gonna lie. There's some days where I'm thinking that this dream of mine is never gonna happen because, like, how is WWE gonna bring in new viewers when they're bleeding viewers? They're bleeding viewers. It's hard enough to get noticed when WWE is hot, let alone when it's cold. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Salvo Savage says, contract signings are stupid and make no sense when they could just cut a promo. They already have ads and artwork promoting Jacob and Roman. Why are they doing a contract signing? Yeah, you're right. This is just one of those tropes that you kind of you're okay with. You know that there's going to be a contract signing and someone's going to go through a table. You just got, like, who's going through the table? That's the question. Jimbo Slice says, Braun Breaker looked way more intimidating when he was shaved, when he was bald. I know, 100%. Braun Breaker did a lot last night to kind of rebuild his credibility, but the hair does not help him, and he needs to go bald again. He needs to go out. Bald is beautiful, right? Rafael Adair says, the El Grande Americano tag match had no right to steal the show for me. I think the mask versus mask match would be so much better if there was no no disqualification stipulation added to it. So the mask versus mask match is in AAA. Like, as much as WWE proper is kind of like, so-so, sometimes good, sometimes bad. The AAA stuff, doing great stuff, and NXT doing great stuff. I think TKO just doesn't look at those two. They forget about that they own more than just SmackDown and Raw. But yeah, the mask versus mask stuff was pretty good. Their matchup was good. I actually liked the Penta Javon and Ethan Page Rusev match. That was a really fun match to me. Programmed for Damage says, the one time I've seen Sol Ruca botch the Soul Snatcher, and it happens to be in the main roster. Yeah, that sucked. That really sucked. Obviously, it was a minor blip, and most people will forget about it, but it's one of those things where Sol Ruca will probably never forget. We, the audience, will, but like that one time in middle school where you said something stupid, you still think about it to this day, even though every single human has forgotten about it, and that'll probably be with Sol Ruca. So I do feel bad that she botched her debut move. Daniel Kinster says, the build for Jacob is awesome. Win or lose, this has been cool to watch. Yes, Jacob Fatu has done a lot to rebuild his monster aura that he had on his first couple months with the when he debuted. Now that he's against Roman, it seems like it's back. It seems like Jacob is an unhinged, crazy man, and I love it. Matthew Hassan says, Raw seemed to be missing something, and why does Paul Heyman always leave Logan and Theory after he's done talking to them? Because I think Paul Heyman is having flashbacks of when he was managing Axel, Curtis, and Ryback. He's just like, no shade on Ryback. Ryback actually liked one of my TikTok videos. Kind of felt cool about that. But, you could just tell that they weren't top guys, and Paul Heyman likes to surround himself only with tippy top guys. It's OTW says, my boy Austin Theory ain't ever getting over. I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Unless they switch him back. his first gimmick of being kind of a goofy, self-absorbed heel, that was actually working. And we should have probably turned him babyface even, because at one point, believe it or not, the crowd was having Austin Theory chants when he was with Grayson Waller, but they did nothing with it. Now, Cyclist Pro says, I am entertained by the Bloodline saga. New, old stuff, the Tongan Death Grip chapter, yeah, I get it. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline saga has been consistently on the forefront of WWE TV for, 5-6 years now, but it's still freaking entertaining. People want to call WWE a male soap opera. Well, there are soap operas that have been around since the 60s, 70s. So if it's still entertaining, it's still entertaining. Jeremy Hunter says, the marks on here don't have any idea how bad WWE is right now. LMAO. Yeah, you're probably trying to insult me, but whatever. I don't care. I have thick skin. We do realize how bad it is. We do realize how bad it is. We just hope against hope that things are gonna get better. Who knows? Maybe Big Daddy TKO will be visited by three ghosts, and he'll change everything. He'll be like, you there, boy, what day is it? And they'll be like, it's Monday Night Raw, sir. Well, hire back the New Day. Give people what they're worth. Take my bonus back and distribute it among the employees. Tony Khan, I'll be watching AEW this week. I hope that I can really get into it. I hope I can really get into your product. All right, boys. All right, girls. See you. Bye.